Dear students, in this lecture, we will discuss one more type of market, or we can say one more form of market, that is monopoly. The term monopoly, it has been derived from Greek word monos and poly. The root word of monopoly is derived from Greek word. इसकी जो derivation है वो Greek word से है monos, which means single, and poly, which means seller, बेचने वाला. Therefore, a monopoly, it is a market in which there is single seller. A monopoly is a market in which there is single seller. That sells differentiated products. That sells differentiated product. We can also say differentiated commodity or differentiated good. Having no close substitute available. In the market. कि एक मार्केट होता है जिसमें सिंगल सेलर, या आप कह सकते हैं सिंगल फर्म, एक ही सेलर होता है, एक ही बेचने वाला होता है, एक ही फर्म होता है जो सप्लाई करते हैं, जो सेल करते हैं, या ये कह सकते हैं जो डिफरेंशिएटेड प्रोडक्ट बेचते हैं, जिसका कोई क्लोज सब्स्टिट्यूट अवेलेबल नहीं होता है. इसकी वजह से मोनोपोली में जो सेलर होता है, जो मोनोपोलिस्ट होता है, वो कोई भी प्राइस चार्ज कर सकता है. It gives him a power to charge different prices. इसमें वो प्राइस मेकर होता है. एज इन केस ऑफ परफेक्ट कंपटीशन, वहाँ पे फर्म्स, वहाँ पे सेलर्स प्राइस टेकर्स होते हैं. यहाँ पे सेलर प्राइस मेकर्स होते हैं, क्योंकि सिंगल सेलर होता है और जो प्रोडक्ट होता है वो डिफरेंशिएटेड होता है, मुख्तलिफ होता है, और उसका कोई क्लोज सब्स्टिट्यूट अवेलेबल नहीं होता है. Now we will learn features. अब हम सीखेंगे features of monopoly market. जो पहला फीचर है, the first feature of monopoly market is single seller. Single seller, और we can say single firm. इसमें एक ही सेलर होता है, एक ही फर्म होती है. और जो बायर्स वो बहुत सारे होते हैं. देयर मे बी लार्ज नंबर ऑफ बायर्स ऑफ ए प्रोडक्ट. सेकंड फीचर ऑफ मोनोपोली मार्केट इज differentiated product. differentiated product, differentiated commodity, differentiated good with no close substitute, with no close substitute. यहाँ जो प्रोडक्ट होता है वो डिफरेंशिएटेड होता है और उसका कोई क्लोज सब्स्टिट्यूट नहीं होता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, cell phones, cars, they are produced under different brands having unique features which is not available in the other commodity available. That gives a power to a monopolist to charge any price, to attract the consumers, to attract the customers, buyers. Or for example, life-saving drugs, जिनका कोई क्लोज सब्स्टिट्यूट अवेलेबल नहीं होता है मार्केट में, उसका एक ही सेलर होता है. And we will learn what are the factors that leads to monopoly, what are the causes of monopoly, that we will learn in this lecture. And one more feature of monopoly market is barriers to entry. Barriers to entry, or we can say restrictions to entry. New sellers, or we can say new firms. यहाँ पर restrictions होते हैं, barriers होते हैं for the entry of new firms, such as licensing, patent rights, etc. वो हम in detail में पढ़ेंगे in this lecture. One more feature of monopoly market is price discrimination. Price discrimination. यहाँ पे जो सेलर होता है वो डिफरेंट प्राइस चार्ज करता है फॉर ईच यूनिट और फॉर डिफरेंट यूनिट्स ऑफ प्रोडक्ट फ्रॉम डिफरेंट buyers of product, from different customers of product. What is the definition of price discrimination? It is defined as when different prices are charged to buyers, to customers for the same product, for the same commodity. It is known as price discrimination. Is known as price discrimination. जब मुख्तलिफ प्राइसेस होंगे एक ही प्रोडक्ट के उसको हम कहते हैं प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन। प्रोडक्ट सेम होता है लेकिन जो कीमत होती है वो मुख्तलिफ होती है, उसको हम कहेंगे प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन। That is when different prices are charged to buyers for the same product. It is known as price discrimination. And there are 3 degrees of price discrimination in monopoly market. Degrees of price discrimination. Degrees of price discrimination. I will not go into detail the degrees of price discrimination in monopoly market. For that we have to make use of graphs, diagrams, but I will give you the brief description of the degrees of price discrimination in monopoly market. Number 1 is first degree price discrimination. First degree price discrimination. First degree price discrimination. In first degree price discrimination, the monopolist charges different prices to each buyer, to each customer for different units of product. For example, if there are A, B, C and D buyers, if there are 4 buyers in the market and 1 seller in the market, monopolist, इन फर्स्ट डिग्री प्राइस डिस्क्रिप्शन हर एक बायर को डिफरेंट प्राइस पे करना होगा फॉर डिफरेंट यूनिट्स ऑफ कमोडिटी, फॉर डिफरेंट ऑफ प्रोडक्ट. फॉर एग्जांपल बायर ए को P1 प्राइस पे करना होगा फॉर द यूनिट ऑफ कमोडिटी X1, जो टोटल रेवेन्यू होगा मोनोपोलिस्ट को इन फ्रॉम बायर ए, दैट इज P1 X1. Price multiplied by units of commodity. This is the total revenue to a monopolist from buyer A. Similarly, जो buyer B होगा उसका जो price होगा different होगा, say P2, and unit of commodity will be X2. Similarly, जो buyer C होगा उसका जो price होगा मुख्तलिफ होगा, P3, unit भी different होगा X3. And for buyer D, price will be P4 and units may be X4, where P1, P2, P3 and P4 are different prices. Say price 10, 15, 20, 30, and X1, X2, X3 and X4, these are different units of commodity X, different units of product X, different units of commodity, or we can say different units of product X. And in case of first degree price discrimination, whole consumer surplus is taken away. Whole consumer surplus is taken away by producer, by single seller, by monopolist. What is consumer surplus? Consumers surplus is the difference. इसकी जो डेफिनेशन है वो ये है, कंज्यूमर सरप्लस is the difference between what a consumer means buyer, what a consumer is willing to pay, what a consumer is willing to pay, and what he actually pays. Difference between what a consumer is willing to pay and what he actually pays. For example, a buyer A, a consumer A, goes to the market to purchase pen. Given his income, suppose he goes with intention to buy the pen at a price of 10 rupees. He is willing to pay 10 rupees. वो 10 रुपये देने के लिए तैयार है. But when he approaches the seller of the pen and asks him what is the price of pen, he says that the price of pen is 8 rupees. He is willing, वो देने के लिए, he is willing to pay 10 rupees. वो 10 रुपया देने के लिए तैयार था. लेकिन जो एक्चुअल प्राइस है प्रोडक्ट का, that is 8 rupees. Or after bargaining, the seller reaches the price of 8 rupees. Now the difference between willingness to pay and what he actually pays, that is consumer surplus. वो 10 रुपये देने के लिए तैयार था, लेकिन जो एक्चुअल पेमेंट है, जो एक्चुअल प्राइस जो उसको पे करना पड़ा वो 8 रुपीज़ है, और उसके पास कितना बचा, 2 rupees surplus that goes in the pocket of consumer, in the pocket of buyer. This is known as consumer surplus. लेकिन यहाँ पे in case of first degree price discrimination, maximum price is charged by the monopolist, by the single seller. उसकी वजह से जो कंज्यूमर सरप्लस होता है वो 0 के बराबर होता है इन केस ऑफ फर्स्ट डिग्री प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन. It is also known as perfect price discrimination. First degree price discrimination is also known as perfect price discrimination. In first degree price discrimination, there is a leave it or take it policy, because maximum price is charged from each buyer. Either he has to buy that product at that price in which there is no consumer surplus, or he has to leave it, उसको वो प्रोडक्ट छोड़ना होगा if he is not able to pay that price. And this first degree price discrimination is only possible, ये तब मुमकिन होगा when seller knows the demand curve of the consumers, of the buyers, when he knows that how much a buyer will be willing to pay. Now we will discuss second degree of price discrimination. अब हम सीखेंगे second degree price discrimination in monopoly market by monopolist. Second degree price discrimination. In second degree price discrimination, the monopolist, the single seller, divides the markets into सब markets. इसमें markets को divide किया जाता है सब markets में, markets into sub market, sub sorry, in case of second degree price discrimination, इसमें buyers को डिवाइड किया जाता है इन डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स. बायर्स मार्केट्स को थर्ड डिग्री प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन में डिवाइड किया जाता है, लेकिन सेकंड डिग्री प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन में बायर्स को डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स में डिवाइड किया जाता है. The buyers are divided into different groups. Group A, Group B, Group C, D, etc. Let us divide the buyers into Group A and Group B. And in Group A, there may be buyers A, B, and C. There are 3 buyers, 3 consumers, and in Group B there are D, E, F, and G buyers. Means there are 4 buyers. Here there are 3 buyers, but divided into different groups, and from each group different prices are charged for different units. यहाँ पे प्राइस होगा P1, यहाँ पे प्राइस होगा P2. डिफरेंट प्राइस होगा. यहाँ पे फॉर एग्जांपल पर यूनिट जो प्राइस होगा वो होगा 100 रुपीज़. यहाँ पे जो पर यूनिट प्राइस होगा वो होगा 120 और 80 रुपीज़. मीन्स डिफरेंट फ्रॉम दिस ग्रुप. और जो यूनिट्स होंगे वो भी डिफरेंट होंगे, यूनिट्स ऑफ प्रोडक्ट. मीन्स डिफरेंट चार्जेस आर charged from each group of buyers. For example, this group consists of relatives. There may be concession for these buyers, and this group consists of common buyers. There will be some different prices for this group. Means price discrimination. मुख्तलिफ कीमत चार्ज होगा यहाँ पे. And this is possible, this second degree of price discrimination, when there are large number of buyers, जिनको हम डिवाइड कर सकते हैं into different groups. This second degree of price discrimination, it is also known as block pricing system. Block pricing system. Now the third degree of price discrimination is third degree of price discrimination. In third degree of price discrimination, the markets are divided into sub-markets. And from each sub-market, different prices are charged by the monopolist, by the single seller. Sub-market A, Submarket B, submarket C, D means markets are divided into different submarkets. Submarket B, and in each submarket there will be different prices. In submarket A there will be price P1, and in submarket B there will be price P2. Or P1 and P2 are different prices. Suppose here the price per unit is 50 rupees, here the price per unit is 60 or 40 rupees per unit. And in each market, profits will be maximum. Profits will be maximum when from each submarket marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost, which is also the condition of producer's equilibrium. And second condition is that there is different elasticity of demand, different elasticity of demand in each submarket. A third condition for the possibility of third degree of price discrimination is that distance, or we can say the submarkets are separated so that there is no resale of product in other submarket, no resale of the same product. In submarkets, in other submarkets which have been divided, means the distance between one market and other market is very large. There is no possibility of transfer of product from one submarket to other submarket. That is, there is no possibility of resale of same product in the submarket. और हर एक मार्केट में जो इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड है वो मुख्तलिफ है, तब पॉसिबल है थर्ड डिग्री ऑफ प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, दैट इज डिफरेंट प्राइसेस आर चार्ज्ड फ्रॉम ईच सब मार्केट. And simply you have to remember that in case of first degree price discrimination, different prices are charged from each buyer for different units of commodity, and in that case whole consumer surplus is taken away by the monopolist. और जो consumer surplus मैंने आपको बताया, it is a difference between what a consumer is willing to pay and what he actually pays. यहाँ पे जो मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिया है. और फर्स्ट डिग्री प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, इट इज आल्सो द कंडीशन when there is two choices between the consumer and monopolist, that is leave it or take it, because there are maximum prices charged from each buyer. Either he has to pay that charge or to leave the commodity, means he cannot purchase that commodity. If he pays that maximum price, he can purchase, he can fulfill his demand, he can take that commodity. Only two options are left with the consumer. सेकंड डिग्री प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन में क्या होता है, यहाँ पे बायर्स को मुख्तलिफ ग्रुप्स में डिवाइड किया जाता है और हर एक ग्रुप में मुख्तलिफ बायर्स होते हैं और हर एक ग्रुप को मुख्तलिफ प्राइस चार्ज होता है. हर एक ग्रुप में जो बायर्स होते हैं, ग्रुप ए एंड ग्रुप बी में, जो ग्रुप ए में उनको P1 प्राइस पे करना होगा और ग्रुप बी में जो बायर्स है उनको P2 प्राइस पे करना होगा। मीन्स मुख्तलिफ प्राइसेस आर चार्ज्ड, डिफरेंट प्राइसेस आर चार्ज्ड। एंड इन थर्ड डिग्री प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, मार्केट्स को डिवाइड किया जाता है सब मार्केट्स में। फॉर एग्जांपल सब मार्केट ए, सब मार्केट बी, और हर एक मार्केट में डिफरेंट प्राइसेस होंगे। और इन केस ऑफ थर्ड डिग्री प्राइस डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, द पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ मैक्सिमम प्रॉफिट इज ओनली व्हेन marginal revenue is equal to marginal cost. Second possibility of third degree price discrimination, when there is different elasticity of demand in each sub market. हमने पढ़ा है elasticity of demand, मुझे उम्मीद है कि आपको वो याद होगा। And one more condition for the possibility of third degree price discrimination is that the sub-markets are divided in such a way there is no possibility of transfer of the same product from one sub-market to other sub-market, or in simple words we can say no resale of same product in other sub-markets. The distance is so large between these sub-markets. Now we will discuss different causes of monopoly market, or we can say different factors that leads to monopoly market. Factors that leads to monopoly market. Number one is legal restriction. Legal, कानूनी, legal restriction. Everyone is not allowed to do the business in that particular commodity, in that particular product, because of legal restrictions. They are prohibited by law to do that particular business because of some reasons, such as in the interest of public, for the welfare of public. For example, public monopolies, such as defense, railways, railways, and these are the public monopolies. Only government can have control in these sectors. No others are allowed to enter in this market because these are created, their control lies with the government because of ensuring public welfare, for the welfare of public, लोगों की बहबूदी के लिए। And one more type of monopoly, that is franchise monopoly. These are created in private sector, and in this case licenses are issued to the seller, to the firm, and only those can do this type of or that type of business. For example, medicine shop. Chemist. In this case, everyone cannot enter in the market. Everyone cannot do this business. Only those can enter in the market who have licenses provided by law, by some authority such as government, and this restricts the other sellers, the other firms to enter in the market, leading to the monopoly type of market. For example, fertilizer. Only those can enter in the market, only those can do this business who have got license from the government. Only those can do the business of fertilizer, means this is the legal restriction for the sellers to enter in the monopoly market. And this is the cause of monopoly market, why there is single seller, because of legal restrictions such as public monopolies, जो लोगों के बहबूदी के लिए, फायदे के लिए होता है। इसमें जो कंट्रोल होता है गवर्नमेंट के पास होता है, जैसे कि डिफेंस, रेलवेज एटसेट्रा। और जो फ्रेंचाइज मोनोपोली होती है वो प्राइवेट सेक्टर में होता है, प्राइवेट मार्केट में होता है, लेकिन यहाँ पे लाइसेंस होना चाहिए। फॉर एग्जांपल, मेडिसिन शॉप सच एज केमिस्ट्स or fertilizer, doing business in fertilizer, a seller needs to have license from the government. This restricts the others to enter in the monopoly. This leads to monopoly type of market. Or for example, डीलरशिप होता है हर एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट में, एक ही डीलरशिप होता है, एक प्रोडक्ट का एक ही डीलर होता है। फॉर एग्जांपल, सेल्यूलर नेटवर्क्स, एयरटेल, जियो, हर एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट में एक ही डीलर होता है। इसका मीन्स मोनोपोली, क्योंकि उनके पास फ्रेंचाइज होता है उस प्रोडक्ट का, कोई और उसमें बिजनेस नहीं कर सकता है। दिस इज ऑल्सो द बैरियर टू एंटर इन द मार्केट और कॉज ऑफ मोनोपोली मार्केट और द फैक्टर्स दैट लीड्स टू मोनोपोली मार्केट। सेकंड कॉज इज कंट्रोल ओवर रॉ मटेरियल्स। कंट्रोल ओवर रॉ मटेरियल्स, खाम मवाद, which is used in the production of a particular commodity, particular good. जिसके पास रॉ मटेरियल होगा पर्टिकुलर प्रोडक्ट का, वही उसमें प्रोडक्शन कर सकता है, वही उस प्रोडक्ट का सप्लायर होगा, क्योंकि हर एक के पास वो रॉ मटेरियल अवेलेबल नहीं होता है। एवरी कंट्री इज नॉट endowed with every type of resources. For example, कुछ कंट्रीज उनके पास पेट्रोलियम रिसोर्सेज होते हैं, मीन्स ऑयल रिसोर्सेज, डीजल एटसेट्रा और कैरोसिन, और जिनके पास इसका रॉ मटेरियल होगा, क्रूड ऑयल होगा, वही इसका सप्लायर होंगे, मीन्स मोनोपोली। और डायमंड, गोल्ड, जिनके पास इसका रॉ मटेरियल होगा वही गोल्ड प्रोडक्ट्स बना सकते हैं और वही उनका सप्लायर होगा। इसी तरह मेडिसिन, जिसके पास उसका रॉ मटेरियल होगा वही वो पर्टिकुलर मेडिसिन प्रोड्यूस कर सकता है, उसका वो सप्लायर हो सकता है, मोनोपोलिस्ट हो सकता है। सिंपली जिसके पास रॉ मटेरियल होगा वही उसका सेलर होगा। And third cause of monopoly market is efficiency. Efficiency. Efficiency in the form of economies of scale. इस पे मैंने ऑलरेडी लेक्चर दिया है इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल पे, so I will not go into detail explanation of economies of scale. I will briefly explain it here. Economies of scale, these are the cost reducing factors. Cost reducing factors available to a firm, to a producer. These are the facilities available to a firm that reduces cost of production, such as efficient management, efficient managers that efficiently coordinates other factors of production that leads to maximum production with low cost. Skilled laborers. That also leads to increased production, that increase the production at low cost because they have some skills. And other form of economies of scale may be low transportation cost. Low transportation cost. Economies of scale may be in the form of concessions on the purchase of bulk quantity of raw material, or concession in terms of finance from external sources that leads to efficiency in the firms in the production process, and that makes the firms to compete with the other firms, to overcome with the other firms, to go ahead of the other firms, to control over the market. वो मार्केट में कंट्रोल करते हैं क्योंकि उनके पास एफिशिएंसी होता है, इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल होता है. दिस ऑल्सो लीड्स टू मोनोपोली मार्केट. And those monopolies which are born out of efficiency, or we can say those monopolies which are created due to their efficiency, and their efficiency in the form of economies of scale, that is known as natural monopolies. You should remember it, that natural monopoly. That monopoly which has been created due to efficiency, due to economies of scale. These were the causes, some factors that leads to monopoly type of market. I hope you have got it. Thanks.